please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Angela to the platform.
Good morning, Unity of Miami Gardens. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for my amazing friends that always come to support me. Listen, life is much better when you have friends and when you are part of a spiritual community. So it makes such a big difference. We don't have to walk this path alone. We can walk with others supporting us. For those of you who are watching online, whether you're watching now or in the future, your presence is really appreciated. As you can see earlier, this month, we're going to go deeper into the power of order. And we're going to see how getting into alignment with the power of order, we're able to be in alignment with divine laws. God is saying, yes, that's it. We're going to be able to align with divine laws and divine spiritual laws. And when we are in alignment with the spiritual laws, our life begins to become like this flow of ease, of grace, of abundance. It's very much like the difference between swimming against the current, trying hard to survive, to make ends meet, having to break our head to figure things out, versus living in a flow in which guidance, protection, and abundance becomes available to ourselves. So I'm going to give an illustration here for us to see the importance of order in our lives. So the illustration is this. Let's say that you went to watch this beautiful symphony, but you get there a little early and the musicians, they're like warming up the instruments. So the sound is a little chaotic, no synchronicity, nothing like that. But then the conductor arrives and he lifts up his baton and he begins to coordinate all the musicians in perfect harmony and sequence. That's divine order. So you see here that the key point is there is a conductor orchestrating everything in perfect order. So the key element here is that we begin to learn how to become aware of the conductor and follow its guidance. See, we're not meant to play our instrument, our talents in our own. We're meant to follow a higher guidance and play in harmony with that guidance. So it reminds me, in the early stages of the Unity movement, Charles was a little skeptical about this new thought movement. So he just, let Myrtle Fillmore study. He was just going to see what happens. But when he saw that not only she was healed, but all of a sudden you have all these people seeking her out for their own healing, she was able to heal cataracts. Just imagine that. You don't have to go to the doctor. You go to Myrtle Fillmore, she's going to heal your eyes. It's like, wow. She was able to heal people that were handicapped and couldn't walk. On and on, she began to become popular in the neighborhood, and people would begin to seek her out. Now, all of a sudden, Charles Fillmore, he became impressed. He goes like, well, I have to investigate those things. So he began to study the New Thought movement, and he learned that God is a spirit, and I am spirit. That's what he said. He said, well, if God is a spirit, and I am spirit, there has to be a way for me to communicate with God, right? So he decided, he called God the headquarters. There has to be a way for me to reach out to the headquarters. That's what he thought. He was a very successful businessman, so he decided to do the spiritual path with commitment and professionalism, just like he did with his business professional. He was a realtor, just like me and some other people here. So he decided that every night before he go to sleep, he would do not only a meditation, but he's going to introduce affirmations with the intent. My intent here is to connect to the headquarters. In other words, he didn't want the teachings to be just part of a book with an intellectual understanding. He wanted to put it to test. If there's such a thing as me being able to connect with God, I want to put it to a test. And just remember, back in the late 1800s, meditation here in the U.S. was not very popular. But he heard that it will help him, so he's like, I'm going to do it. So every night, he will sit, he will begin to entertain thoughts, letting God know what his intention was. I want to reach the headquarters. And he was very consistent with his practices. Now, several months went by, nothing happened, nothing changed. But he realized that those meditations were making him feel good about life. So he decided to keep on, keeping on, even though nothing changed. All of a sudden, he began to receive guidance through his dreams. He not only began to receive guidance, but you were giving to him what the future of his spiritual movement would be. So he stopped and he realized that he had indeed been in touch with the headquarters, and now the headquarters were communicating with him through his dreams. Now, listen. The headquarters is available right now to each and every one of us, and it may communicate with us through the dreams, through AI, through a bumper sticker, through a friend, through a pet, through a sunrise, through a sunset. The key here is for us to have the same intent that Charles have and create the space to be able to become more and more receptive to the conductor, to the headquarters, so that we may also be able to be guided to be in the right place, in the right time, and be told what to say. This is what happened with Moses. When Moses was first revealed to him what his spiritual path would be, the first thing, he was revealed to him that he was supposed to be the one to free his people from bondage and limitation, from being enslaved. His first reaction was, God, I'm not qualified. I don't even know how to speak properly. I am not eloquent. I'm slow in speech. I stuttered. I'm not good enough. You got the wrong person. That was his first reaction. But God told him, don't worry, Moses. When you get there, I am going to tell you what to say. You don't have to figure things out. The question here is, how many of us have heard that same voice that Moses heard? I'm not good enough. I'm not qualified. I'm too old. I don't have the right education. I don't have the green card. Oh my gosh, I'm not the one. You got the wrong person, right? How many of us have heard that voice? Right? All of us. But Moses decided he was going to follow the other voice that said, Moses, don't worry, I will be with you. So it's very important that we realize, according to the Course in Miracles, there is two voices going on in our head. One of them is aligned with fear, separation, limitation, and the other voice is aligned with love, with compassion, with beauty, with light. So we have to begin to identify those two voices going on in our head and choosing one versus the other. If Moses was listening to his egoic mind, oh, I don't have what it takes. I don't even know how to speak. How do you want me to do that? If Moses was listening to that voice, he would not have fulfilled his mission in life. So it's important that we begin to reach out to the headquarters, listen to it, and follow its guidance. And don't let the voice of fear take the best out of you. When you reach out to the headquarters, or you're able to follow the conductor, I'm going to give an illustration here for you to see the difference. Let's see that we have this 5-year-old kid. The kid is about to cross this really busy and dangerous street. If the kid is by himself, the kid will be concerned, will be afraid, and will probably experience some form of danger. He doesn't know how to cross the street. But what if the mother is right next to the little kid, he takes the little kid by the hand and crosses the street? See, the kid doesn't have to be worried. There is a greater wisdom leading him across the street, safe and sound. The same thing happened to us. There is a higher self that is extending its hand, just like we did with Moses. Take me by the hand. I'm going to guide you to be in the right place at the right time, and I'm going to tell you what to do and what to say. So the important thing here is to realize that there is such a thing and seek it out. Now the question here is, what if I'm faced with a challenge? What if I'm faced with a loss? I lost my job, I lost a loved one, I lost my pet, I lost my green card. You know, it's happening lately. People are losing their green cards. Or I lost my house. What do you do? How you put yourself in alignment with divine order when you're faced with a challenge like that? The invitation here is not to put yourself in the position of, I am a victim, but begin to look at the challenge and look at it and say, this is happening for me, not against me. There is a lesson here for me to learn. And if I put the spiritual tools that I have learned into practice, and if I begin to build some spiritual muscles, I will be able to move through the storm and be better off than I was before. That's what the founders of Unity had to do when we had the Great Depression here in the U.S. It really did affect the Unity movement. They were experiencing financial difficulties. So one time, one of the staff say, maybe we should pray that the money would hold out. But Myrtle Fillmore say, no, we're going to pray that our faith will hold out. She was focusing on the spiritual component. Let us practice here and now to declare the presence of God as abundance in the face of lack and limitation. Let us use this opportunity to build a greater faith in the presence of God, knowing that it will carry us through. Just like the song said, I put my faith on the Lord and He got me through it. So that's the important thing. That's the opportunity for us to do when we are faced with a challenging situation. Don't try to do it by yourself, but begin to look for a guidance and use that to develop the spiritual muscle of faith, to see how God can make you move through that storm without being devastated by it. Another important point here is the point of timing. In divine order, everything has its perfect timing. So it's not like, God, I want this, but I want this next week. We have to learn to surrender. It's not like my way or the highway. It's like, just the highway. Forget about my way. I don't know what's best for me. I'm going to trust the divine. Because here's the thing, when you would take a look at season, a farmer does not go to plant seeds in the winter when it's snowing. There is a perfect timing and a perfect season. And once you planted the seed, you're not going to have the crop the next day or the next week. Even if you want it to be, we have to trust in God's timing. So another component here is to learn the art to surrender our will and our way to something greater than ourselves. To bring this message to a conclusion and to make the long story short, indeed, there is a conductor bringing harmony to the whole universe, and if we learn the art to be in alignment with it, it will begin to orchestrate everything on our behalf. It will begin to attract to us the possibilities and the opportunities that we need. Our part is to seek to reach out to the headquarters to make the connection just as Charles and Moses did, and begin to learn the art to follow through with inspired actions. And when we're faced with a trouble, a challenge, don't freak out. Don't think that God has forgotten you. It's an opportunity for you to see God's presence operating in your life so you can build that muscle of faith and know that no matter what happens, God is with you. You don't have to worry. You don't have to freak out. It's time to trust. And when we trust, God not only is going to bring us to the right place, to the right people, to the right circumstances, but He's going to tell us what to do and what to say. And we will then fulfill our purpose here on earth. Thank you very much.